Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take the FIMI X8 SE 2020 up for a test flight here in the winter. I've not had this drone up in the air since sometime last summer. That was right after they did that big firmware update that supposedly fixed the crooked horizon and gimbal tilt issues. And I really thought that the drone did really good after that update, but I just did that one flight and I thought, I probably got to do another follow-up and see if it still works really well. I know my buddy Marcus over at Idaho Quadcopter just actually did a video with his the other day as well, so he had the same thought, and he had some gimbal tilt. Now I think he was using the latest firmwares. There are some firmware updates for this drone. They've been released since last summer. But I'm not going to mess with those because mine looks so good in the video that I recorded last summer that I just don't know if it's worth the risk updating this and then possibly introducing some goofy thing that they introduced in the firmware updates. Because the firmware update, I didn't happen to take a screenshot of it, but it said that they did some gimbal adjustments, and that's had me worried. And I think it was some compass calibration adjustments as well, is what the firmware notes said. But that gimbal update concerned me a little bit because mine looks so good. I'm worried, could it do something goofy? Because FIMI, you never know. They have such a hard time getting their gimbal horizon stable and not tilted in all their drones since they've first been released. And no, the FIMI, that first one called the Me drone, I didn't really have any gimbal tilt in that drone, but everything, all these other ones have had some of the issues one time or another. So I'm not going to do the firmware updates on this. We'll see if I see some gimbal issues in this video, then I'll probably do that update and then maybe do another follow-up video to see is it any better. But like I said, last summer I didn't have any noticeable tilt. So if you want to check out that video, it's on my channel. I'll try to remember to put a card up here to it. Again, that was filmed sometime, I believe it was last summer. So what I'm going to do now is let's just get the drone fired up, just fly it around, maybe do a little tour of the area here that I live, and just see how the drone works. So I'll be right back and we'll get the drone up in the air, guys. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get the drone up in the air. I don't know how well I'm going to show up in the camera here, but really we're just going to go to the onboard footage here as we fly up and just use my mic for the narrative if you guys want to listen to me. So let's go ahead and we'll press the auto takeoff on. Actually, we want to start recording video first. So I've got it set to 4K at 30. I'm doing H.264 codec on this, and I do have the bit rate set to high. You got to always make sure you set it to high because the app always defaults to medium, and it's done that since the very beginning, and it's so bizarre because you want the highest bit rate for the best quality. Let's start recording video, and there we go. Let's go ahead and just press the auto takeoff. Just get it away from me there. Just gonna let it hover a little bit there. Make sure there's no toilet bowl or anything, since I did not do a compass calibration. But it looks nice and steady, at least as steady as you can expect the FIMI to be. Let's see, I always get mixed up on my gimbal tilt here. So is it this one? Yeah, the left one. The right one I think is your EV exposure dial. Let's just take it out here and fly it up over the area. I want to make sure my screen brightness is all the way up, and it is. But on this gloomy day with my sunglasses on still, the screen's not super bright to me. Just going to ease it around here and see how that looks. Now there is some horizon tilt that's natural, I should say. They're off in the distance at times. But I can see it looks like there's some tilt there. See that right there, guys? I don't believe that. I didn't notice it in the last video, but I can see it right there. Let's see if it levels out. Usually a little yawing does. See, that looks nice there. Now again, there is some tilt off in that direction. Oops, what did I do? I stopped recording video. I bumped the button on the back. So let's go ahead and start recording video again. So yeah, it's just I'm seeing some tilt there. The more you yaw, that's why I'm doing this. Now again, when I look off this direction, now look, the tilt looks the opposite direction as it was a while ago. So I don't know. That video that I did last summer, I didn't notice any tilt. But that, yeah, look at that right there. That's definitely horizon tilt. So maybe that firmware update will help it some. It's kind of unfortunate. I really thought that it looked good last time I flew it. There he is, just cruising along. Let's look down. You can see my pool, a little different shape than the neighbors down there. We'll just watch it. Since I'm relatively close to the house, landing pad is not detected. Let's see if it finds it as it gets lower. That's what it uses for the precision landing, that circle. Now it's detected it. So with it seeing it, we should be good. It's not going to try to, it's using the landing pad and the camera to detect that, and it can adjust itself. So it's not going to just use GPS. See how it's trying to, hopefully you guys will see it there in the camera on the ground if I choose to use the video from it. But anyway, it did land on I was standing over here, guys. Yeah, it did land on the helipad, at least right on the corner of it. So let's go ahead and just let's see, the video does stop recording when you land with this drone, so you got to keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and just record again and go ahead and take it up here, just one more little bit of flying, and then we'll end this video. But I'm gonna get it away from the wind. We don't want to have props flying into our face. That would be really bad. So still looking at the ground. Let's put the gimbal up. There, all right. So I'm just gonna fly it over this one. I'm gonna need to stand away from the camera here, and we'll just use the onboard footage because I don't want to, the house is going to cause obstruction. Let's fly it out this way a little bit. Let's aim down the camera. We should have no problems flying off this direction. There's no obstacles. So the range is going to be great. Even if I don't get up really high. I'm up 100 feet now. Again, if I was up, I'll put the gimbal up a little bit there. If I was up several hundred feet a while ago, we would not have lost the FPV. But the nice thing is it said, hey, you dropped FPV, I'm sending you home. Even though I don't believe the controller actually disconnected. So we'll just fly it out here a ways. We still got 74% battery, so that's good. And now we're out. Just take it up a little higher. We're at around 2,000 feet out now. And again, off in these directions, right now you see some horizon, it's tilted, but I don't know if that right there is not just natural. What we can do is stop and yaw here for a moment and yaw back and see if it still look that way, and it does. Again, there is some natural horizon tilt with this, just for the lay of the land. So you can't say, hey, that's just the FIMI being the FIMI. But there certainly was horizon tilt there. We saw it at the beginning of the flight where I was flying off, and let's focus it off this direction, off that way. And it was going, you can see it tilted to the right naturally a bit there. It was tilting both ways. So we're out about a half a mile. Let's go ahead and just fly it back. I'm getting some FPV feed break up at times here. Some of that's just the angle of the antenna. So let's fly back now. Yeah. It's a pretty pleasant day today, probably in the upper 40s Fahrenheit. My hands are a little chilly, but I mean, this is why I wanted to get it up today. Just kind of looking around here. There's some storage units, and that's actually off to the left. There's a place manufactures something. There is the Mormon church right there. So just flying back, see these people right here. They got a pool just last summer too, right there. And here's my house coming up. So the drone's coming up overhead. So when you look off this way, I'm gonna put up the gimbal a little bit. Oop, I over yawed because I was raising the gimbal. I'll ease it back now. That's the thing with FPV feeds, it's still easy to over yaw because there's a bit of lag. Off this direction out there is the Monroe County Fairgrounds, and that's where I flew the drones out last summer to get footage of like the demolition derby and the tractor pulls. So we should be looking right down at my house, and there it is. So let's just bring it down. We are up 180 feet, so we're way below any kind of height concerns. I don't ever get my drones even up to 400 feet. And you can go that high, guys. But you know, hey, no need to if you don't, no reason to if you don't need to. Now, you know, flying out of line of sight, you know, there obviously at times today I was a bit, obviously, but you know, most important is staying underneath the aircraft restrictions so that you're not up in their airspace. That's obviously, some of them will fly below it like a helicopter when they need to, but let's just put the gimbal up here and we'll try to manually land this and then wrap up this video, guys. All right, guys, should be back in the video here. Let's just go ahead and manually land it. Ooh, not too bad. Let's see if the video stopped recording. All right. All right, guys, so that is the FIMI X8 SE 2020. Set the controller down. Yeah, I mean, overall it flew pretty nice. I mean, it really is a smooth flyer, has really good power. There's some wind gusts today, but you know, this thing has no trouble handling that. But as you guys saw, there was horizon tilt at times. Now, some of that is natural, some of it wasn't. Again, last summer, I didn't notice the horizon tilt when I flew it after it. Maybe I was just too optimistic at the time, because there most definitely was today at times. So again, back earlier, hopefully I put a screenshot of the current firmware that I'm on. I guess I didn't screenshot the firmware that I did not flash it to, but it does say that they did some gimbal adjustments. So probably going to consider updating that and see if it makes a difference. I don't think it's going to, because I'm pretty sure Marcus's was updated and his still had it. So kind of disappointed, because I really thought it fixed it. I do think that the gimbal tilt is better. That's kind of bad to say, but again, it does do it at times. But if you're aiming this camera down some, you know, just flying around and cruising around and filming, you're not going to have that gimbal horizon tilt's not going to be an issue. It's certainly not enough to dissuade me from buying this drone, because most of what I'm going to do, it's going to be fine. But you still want to have a nice level horizon. I mean, you don't see horizon tilt issues on a DJI drone, and FIMI's big enough that they need to get this fixed. So we'll see. I mean, obviously it's just something that's plagued all their drones, and we'll have to see. You know, I'm sure they'll release another one. I think they have the 2022 version out, but it's the same design. It may be something that we don't see a difference in the horizon tilt issues until they go to another design. Now, my FIMI X8 Mini didn't have any gimbal tilt, but it had other gimbal issues on that drone, and people really had hit and miss problems with that little Mini. But mine was really, really good. I just can't get it to connect to my Pixel. This drone does a Pixel. Doesn't matter what cable I plug in, it doesn't charge, it doesn't see it, it refuses to see it. I don't know what it is. It's something goofy with my phone. All right, guys, that wraps up the video for this midwinter flight for the FIMI X8 SE 2020. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and while you're at it, click that bell. That way you're notified every time I do upload a new video. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day. The power of the dark side.